they're almost certainly going to have to come out of this draft with a center, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly take Maxime Raynaud in the lottery. If he falls to Boston, I think that is just an absolute win. We're talking a guy that 20 points, 11 rebounds,
And we know
second.
they love the threes.
Yeah, and he's the second most three-pointers made in NCAA history by a 7-footer. He's 22, but he's not and he's still relatively new to basketball. We're talking about a guy that entered
Is it
his
number 1 Luke Cornett?
no,
I think it is.
Laurie Markkinen.
Oh, okay.
Laurie Markkinen. In one season.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, in one season. So he was like on a partial scholarship when he got to Stanford. Wasn't a full-time player growing up in full-time basketball wasn't his main thing. He was a swimmer. So he's a late bloomer, and what he's been able to accomplish in the last 4 years, we're talking 4.5 points a game to 20. Like I said, second in the ACC in scoring, first in rebounding. He's skilled around the block. He can finish with both hands. He can post up. He can run the floor. He can attack closeouts. I think that he's really been hiding in plain sight. I've had him mocked as a first rounder all year, and I just thought it was funny. He had one game at the combine that he looked really good, and now people are saying, "Oh my gosh, he's the first rounder now." Like, no, he's been good all year. So I think if Boston ends up with him, that would be. I mean, I just think that's an absolute steal. I would take him in the lottery if I were a team, just because I think he's that good.
How's the defense going to translate for him?
The defense, well, one, he's athletic enough and he moves well enough to where he can defend. He came on my podcast and I was, just asking him like, all right, for a guy that rebounds so well, I've always wondered why, the rim protection wasn't there. And he's a very bright kid. And he was basically telling me, his 3 years at Stanford, he had the same coach and he was kind of taught to just wall up. And then he said late in the season, just on his own, he brought in like I guess a defensive coach or somebody to help him watch film to become a better defender. And he pointed out to me, if you look at his last 10 games on the season, he averaged 2.7 blocks per game. And it just was from a difference in philosophy. So to me, it makes sense because when I look at just how he moves and how athletic he is and how not saying that rebounding should equal like rim protection, but he grabs rebounds out of his area. And I just thought like he should be a better rim protector. And just based off of what he told me in his last 10 games, that just a difference in philosophy. And there was a difference in what he did prior to bringing in this coach to after. Yes, small sample size, but I think it's there.
That's interesting, right? And I think you consider transferring potentially too during that, transition. And that's the kind of stuff you don't think about necessarily if you're just looking at like the numbers or the film or whatever it might be and saying like, oh, this guy's weak at this, it doesn't do that great. Even with Powell earlier, like you mentioned, it's often a fit or, role
Yeah.
you have to play on a team, especially in 1 year. Over the long term, like you said too, you can end up overemphasizing certain flaws, but the stuff he does well is definitely intriguing. The way he's able to shoot from a bunch of different positions on the floor. And what did he shoot from three last year? Was it 34?
35%, 34, 35%, which
Yeah.
for a 7-footer, you'll definitely take that. And then he can attack a closeout. So that's one of the most underrated aspects of his game is that there's a lot of clips of him attacking the closeout, putting the ball on the floor and getting guys to bite on his pump fake and getting in the lane. Like I said, I'm extremely high on him.
He shot the most pick and pop 3-point attempts in college last year, from what I'm seeing here.
Yep. And he told me he
30.
only got 2 lob dunks. And so he was, very, very bright kid. Like he'll remember plays from games and the time on the clock and very aware. And he pointed out that, a lot of his points were self-created. And he said his junior year, he caught more lobs because of the difference of personnel, but he said he only caught 2 lobs this year. So he felt like there was some points left on the board if he had like a person that could, that just knew how to get on the ball on as a vertical spacer.
Who's your favorite big in this class overall?
Raynaud.
Really?
Yeah.